Welcome back to Opinion Leaders, and still on the topic of body language and nonverbal communications. But before we continue and talk about the characteristics, I need to apologize because sometimes I have a tendency of becoming too excited and then I forget my step 1, step 2, sir.
No need to apologize.
So, Sir Gerald, siguro for a little bit of a backgrounder, I should have asked this in the first cap. Paano kayo nag-umpisa? And how did you get interested in this? Kasi admittedly, no, hindi ito yung pangkaraniwan na topic or subject. It's actually very, very specialized and very niche. So, how did you get interested in this? Ako siguro, I should have been interested in it because many people lied to me when I was a kid. But I didn't know this is one of the options. Ngayon alam ko na it's too late.
Well, thank you very much for that. I'm an educator. I started teaching at the age of 21. I'm 38 already. You know, being an educator, teaching in many schools. Unang-unang nakikita mo talaga is the students. How students react, how students would work, how students show their sincerity to you, how they're happy when they are not insincere. Una-una kasi I was really exposed with people.
From a very young age?
At a very young age. Well, even before I was an educator, kasi bata pa rin ako in college and everything, I was really exposed with different types of people. So, yung verbal cues before, somehow I knew about it nung una pa lang. I have an idea about it. Nararamdaman ko kung masaya sa akin yung person o hindi. But it didn't end there. For some people, okay na yon. Na at least on a personal level, I know that this person is insincere sa akin. This person likes me. I like the person. However, maybe because I'm an educator, I started to go on research on this. Marami rin akong mga palpak na I thought this person liked me, I thought this person was interested, I thought this person was...
Wala backstabber.
Yeah, ganon. well, nakakalungkot man sabihin. Well, teachers were backstabbed by students. Nakasmile sa una pero they hated you pala, and things like that.
So the best thing to do is become a grade school teacher because in grade school, the kids are actually still all sincere. Diba? Somehow.
However, you would have to be exposed with situations where people are insincere. Hindi naman itong sabihin nating talent or expertise na ito ay nakuha mo ng one swift move.
So it's a development.
It's a development. I have had my mistakes. I have had successes until it became a science where certain theories of bodily movements are actually established. And a lot of research. You should ask people, you should do your own research, you should test it. I spent years on this.
At saka I think, one of the more difficult things about this, kasi palagi natin sinasabi yan, no? Iba-iba ang tao. So, sabihin natin your way of working with one person or with one nationality or with one gender or even with one age level, age group is very different. Kasi tayo, admittedly, I'm older than my guest, no? Pero I can say that we're of the same generation. We both grew up on Voltes 5, on Mazinger Z, on Dimos, and on Game & Watch. Ngayon, iba na. Social media, di ba? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The culture is very different. I have to admit, nahihirapan ako mag-adjust to that, let's say, yung parabang technology generation. Because I'm a very, very simple person by nature. Simply complicated.
That's actually good. The acknowledgement na nahihirapan ka mag-adjust. It means that you know that you have to adjust, and that's something good. And you're a host. Ang dami mo mga ini-interview na ganyan. How would you know if the person you're asking medyo kinakabahan na pala sa tanong mo? Of course, you don't want the person to look bad on national TV.
You have to take care of your guests.
Yes,
you really do.
Some of the guests, at all costs. Some of the guests might show that they have anxiety already, and as a host and as a good host, you have to see those verbal cues. Nakakalungkot that some of the hosts na napapanood natin, hindi nila nakikita na yung guests nila medyo
Yes,
nahihirapan na. Maybe you have to ask differently or rephrase it. Kawawa sometimes
Or
yung guest.
saluhin mo because pagka sinabing host, you also have to know your designation. Like for example, when you say host, you are merely a facilitator. The reason why you get a guest is because you value their opinion. So when you're a host, you're supposed to listen because you represent your audience. And your guest is the one who's supposed to dispense this information to enrich the audience. Ikaw lang ang magiging tulay. Tulay ka lang as a host. At saka you need to understand that.
Very well said. Very well said.
You have to understand
Very well
that.
said. I'm happy to hear that from you. Very well said, sir.
Thank you. And sir, okay, going back to the characteristics. Ito naman yung characteristics of body language para mamaya on our third gap, talagang hard-hitting politics na tayo with the people who we're supposed to be learning more about. So this is definitely an educational episode. So, sir, ano yung mga characteristics? Unang-una, how many are they? Sa main, sa main.
Okay, first of all, we have to know what body language is and nonverbal communication. When you say body language, it's kasama yung voice, the quality of your voice, the tone of your voice, how fast are you speaking, your body movements from head to toe, na body movements, kasama yan. It may be coached, it may be not coached, it may be normal, it should be maging maayos pati yun, depending on a situation you are in. The nonverbal communication is something na hindi yung kinikilos. Nonverbal communication is actually how you smell.
Pheromones!
Right. You'll be with someone and alam mong galing ka sa malayo sa traffic, you should smell good. Kung naaalala natin, yung
I like this part.
marami nagsasabi na yung mga artista daw, especially for, ito open book ito and people are talking about this. Especially, I heard from my lolo at lola before na, pag kinamayan mo daw dati si Imelda Marcos, sinasabi, ang long withstanding joke before is hindi naguhugas ng kamay because naaamoy mo, naramdaman mo yung pabango ni Madam Imelda Marcos. That is actually nonverbal communication eh. Pa-joke man siya o hindi, sincere o totoo man, yun yung nakikita natin. The way you dress up, that's nonverbal communication. The things that you have, how clean your shoes are, your watch, and how expensive your watch is.
What if you don't wear a watch, sir? Pareha yata
Yeah,
tayong walang watch. I don't. I really don't. I don't like anything dangling.
Yeah.
From anything. I really don't. Not for anything else, but I don't even... Sabi nga nila, noon, no, yung para bang speaking of nonverbal communication, I was out of the country, and then I was transacting on something. And I was wearing a simple black watch. It was actually decently nice, but then there was no brand. And the thing that I was transacting, actually, I was buying something a little bit pricey. I could not help, but the person was like looking at my watch because hindi makita yung brand. So, tinanong ko dun sa kaibigan ko, bakit pa tinitingnan itong relo ko? Tingin ng tingin. Ganun ba? Sabi niya, because you're in another country, people have no way of assessing you except by what you have. That's why he said, sabi sa akin ng kaibigan ko, best friend ko, kaya don't ever buy something that does not represent you. So if you buy a Rolex, make sure you are worth that Rolex because
you can
back
back it
judge you on that. So sabi ko, ganun pala, hindi na ako susuot ng relo dahil wala naman ako talagang mabili.
I was not wearing a watch right now kasi I want this to be normal. I don't want to give nonverbal cues to our audience na para sukatin nila yung pagkatao ko. Well, speaking of watches, and I've taught in the hospitality industry also, in College of Tourism and Hospitality. Isa sa sinasabi nila, when a person enters a hotel, ang unang-unang tinitignan, two things. It's the watch and the shoes.
The shoes.
Dalawa yon. Yung watch mo and your shoes.
Lagpak na ako sa dalawa.
No. Well, on the situation, you are a host right now, and this is a talk show. So normal yan. Yung sneakers and not wearing a watch right now. It doesn't matter here. Pero pag nasa labas ka, you have to. Kaya part ng nonverbal communication is know kung ano yung dapat, what you have to invest upon. So, the way we're talking right now, invest on a good watch and always good pair of shoes.
Okay, because yun talagang titingnan. Unlike sa babae, kasi maraming pwedeng pagbasihan na you have jewelry, you have a bunch of other things. But for male, what do you have? It's really your watch.
Sa ladies naman, it's not every time na yung jewelry is, even sa male, jewelry is not that universal na when you wear jewelry, sukat na yung pagkatao mo. Kasi at the back of our minds, unknowingly, people would think, jewelry, pwedeng hiniram lang yan. Hindi sa kanya yan. Pero ang sapatos at ang relo, that's a preference eh. Sapatos, hindi ka makapanghiram ng sapatos not your fit.
Really yours.
And your watch is most probably the size of your
So
wrist.
kung alimbawa nagda-dangle yan like a bangle, it's not yours.
It's not yours. Like for some people who's talking, they're earning 200,000 pesos a month. But when you look at their shoes, yung tawag natin upod na yung sapatos, you won't believe that. That's the nonverbal cues.
Okay,
That's the nonverbal communication. Body language, yan. Body language is the way we sit down right now, the way we talk, my tone of voice, everything, it's part of that. However, with with body language, there are certain norms na tinitignan. Yung normal na tinitignan natin, yung the way a person move, yeah, that's it.
Okay, I see. So lahat yan, pwede natin gamitin as sort of like telltale signs.
Yes.
Because sabi nga nila, you never really have the chance to get to know everybody who you come in contact with. So kumbaga, responsibilidad yan ng isang tao na marunong kahit yung basic. Siyempre, we cannot all be experts. No? But yung parang basic lang, para at least you would know kung dapat po bang pagkatiwalaan itong tao na ito or hindi. It's really just all about that, di ba? Can I trust you or can I not? Diba?
We have failed
That's
so many
true.
times on that. Pero kung marunong tayo ng body language and nonverbal cues, we might have a fighting chance that the people that we meet are real people that the friendships would be treasured for a very long time.
Yes.
I have also had my mga palpak din ako pagdating dyan because you're trying to
Ako
learn.
madami.
You're trying to learn and you have to acknowledge that because if you don't acknowledge that, hindi ka matututo.
Okay, so you have to make mistakes in order to learn. Sabi nga nila, forgive and forget. But you know what, I was just thinking, I was talking to one of my workmates and sabi ko sa kanya, actually when we were taping the other day, do you believe in forgiving and forgetting? Because di ba, Holy Week is all about forgiving and stuff like that. Eh sabi niya, yes, forgiving but not forgetting. Because if you forget, it means no, you will forget the lesson also that you were meant to learn from that particular experience. So siguro forgiving is good, but forgetting, wag na lang para at least kung mangyari sa atin uli, alam na natin kung paano natin how we will react and treat it. Diba?
That is right. We all have lapses. But in the kailangan you have to forgive. But do not forget because hindi lang kunyari I've done you wrong and you forgave me. It's good. I'm so lucky you forgave me. However, both of us should not forget yung situation where we had a misunderstanding. Yun para we learn from that. And body language is also like that. Minsan pumapalpak tayo, but don't forget that. Don't forget that kasi papalpak ka ulit na pare-parehas.
If you continue to forget. Okay. So those are the basic parameters and the basic characteristics. We have to go on a short break, but when we come back, we will be talking about the main portion of our show, which is, of course, how to tell if a politician is sincere. How do we vote? Kasi we always, our advocacy, kahit sino, responsible voting, vote responsibly. So I guess itong last portion natin, this is my contribution to responsible voting. Bahala na lang kayo how you will interpret this last and final segment. So don't go away, opinion leaders will be right back.